Hi, I'm BryCox with BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. This week I got a question about TTL lights on location and what kind of lights I like to use, and also mixing it with another question I got about what radios I like. So before I get into this, keep in mind I have a full course on just lighting on my website at BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. And that particular course is about 3 hours, not to mention all the other courses. So okay, I brought here for my video just one of my typical travel lights. And this is just a very small little, I tend to shoot Nikon most of the time. So this is a little Nikon speed light, and I've got a little radio, and I've rigged it in here with this little adapter and this pole. And so years ago, I did an article, which is free on my website. You can check it out. Just search for the words light pole, L-I-G-H-T, right? Not like it's very light, but a light pole. And you'll see what I used. And before, when I wrote that article, I was using these radios, which I still keep in my bag. I actually really like them. But they are the Pocket Wizard Flex and the Minis. And if you've been to one of my workshops, you've probably seen me use these. And what's neat about these is they're just very small, but they give you the ability to do TTL if you want. Though I really recommend shooting everything manual, but I like having the TTL option. So TTL, here's the thing about it. It's an auto. Right? It basically says, I don't want to worry about how much flash output. You just decide, camera, you decide. And that can be good and bad. It's almost always bad. Because let's say I'm shooting a bride and a groom, and let's say the bride is white and the groom is black, and let's say he's in a black tux and she's in a white gown and they're by some hedges. Okay, so now I've got all these various tones, and the hedges are kind of, it's going to be a lot darker than medium gray. Like they're going to be almost to the darker end of things. So let's say I'm set up in the exact same spot and I do some couple portraits and I do her alone and I do him alone. The question is, should the light change ever? No, it should be exactly the same amount of light. But the camera is going to see it differently. It's going to see her and it's going to go, oh, right, all those light colors mixed with these dark colors, I'm going to change the flash output. But then I put him on the same background and it's going to go, oh, I see a lot of darker colors, I need to change the flash output, and it's going to try to, and so all of your shots in that section are some are going to be too bright, some are going to be too dark. You put the two guys together, two people together, it's going to be all messed up. That's why I don't like TTL, is because it's an auto. It's whatever, it takes an average of all of the values coming into the camera seen, and if you get a little more of this or a little more of that, it's going to change. So what I tend to like is manual, but occasionally I like TTL, and here's why I like TTL. I like TTL to kill the sun. So there's a very rare instances when I can't quite kill it, right? Maybe I got to pull the flash further back, or maybe it's just so bright that I'm not getting enough output with these little teeny tiny flashes, and these are pretty small. So in that case, then, you need TTL, because really what you're trying to do then is fire multiple times through the camera's curtain, because if you're shooting the SLR type cameras, you don't have like a leaf curtain, you've got an actual, or a leaf shutter, you've got a curtain shutter. So that means multiple flashes throughout that curtain shift. So that becomes a little bit of a problem. So the new radios I've been using now are these Phottix, and I really like them, the Phottix Odin 2s. And what I like about them is they still work with my Nikon flashes, but they give me the ability with this little module here on my camera. It's a little bit bigger than that little mini from the Pocket Wizard, but it gives me the ability to turn them up, turn them down right here on my camera, or to put flashes into zones and turn them on, turn them off, that kind of thing. So that's pretty slick. However, again, I still recommend these if you like these, or if you've already got them. No reason selling them. Just keep using them until they die. When they die, there's always something newer. But these do have some pretty cool little features about them, and I like them for that. One other option is if I ever need more power than this, and there are times when you like more power, then that's when I'll pull out some of my like pro photos and just take them on location. And now I don't have the B ones. The B ones have a built-in battery pack just for location. They're quite a bit more. They're like, what is it like? Is it $4,000 for two heads, I think? The D ones, which is what I have, are a little less expensive. They're great in a studio because they have a cord, but they actually have a battery mode. And then so I have like this battery I can plug them into. So if I really need power on location, I'm going to take those, and then I get to use all the cool modifiers that I already like and have instead of just a straight flash. And I can put things on this, and I can show that in some other videos. But if I really need power, that's what I'll take. But for the most of the time, just a little light pole like this works great. 95% of the time on manual, not on TTL. So I hope that answers your question on what TTL lights I use. My TTL lights are almost always manual. All right, does that give you a good answer? And what radios I use? Yep. So currently they're the Phottix Odins. That's what I've been using lately. But really, I'm just a fan of radios. I don't like having cords. All right, America, if you've got a question, send it to me. My website, BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BRYCOX, workshops.com. All right, and until next time, America.